Hey there everybody, JT Bear in my little tiny greenhouse here at Clean Valley Farms, so called. I want to thank you for joining me today for this video, super quick video, on spring maintenance for cold weather aquaponic gardens. And this is something you should take seriously if your system has frozen or dropped below 10 degrees Celsius, roughly 40 something Fahrenheit. I don't have my calculations with me at the moment. But anyway, stick around and I'll show you what we're up to. Thanks for joining me, like I said, and if you had to put up with an ad, thanks for that too. Let's get started. So with spring maintenance for a cold weather aquaponic system, it's not the same as, you know, like a spring tune-up on your car or anything like that. I'm not changing any fluids, I'm not changing out all my water or anything like that. But what I do have to deal with is the fact that over the winter, my bacterial colonies will have died, or at least reduced themselves to a point where I might as well consider them completely dead. So in order to prevent ammonia spikes, which have a tendency to happen in ponds in the spring, I have learned to take measures. For example, today I'm going to be adding a little bit of something that I refer to as a bioseed. You can find these in your local nursery, pond supply area. Failing that, you can also get this stuff on Amazon and probably a host of other websites. But here, I'll show you really quickly what I'm using. Some of you will have seen this before. I'm quite loyal to it because it works. I use a product called OneFix Natural Water Clarifier. And basically what this does is this puts all the needed bacteria into the system and basically just pumps everything up as if the colony had never taken a break. And this one little bottle treats so much. It's crazy. This will last me all year, and then basically I'll get another $8 or $9 bottle next spring. So worth it. Prevents so many problems. When you get ammonia spikes in your system, that's when you're looking at ick and all kinds of potential nasties. So I say, if you're in a position to do so, spend the money. Maybe not on OneFix, find a product you like better or is more affordable or whatever, but this came highly recommended to me and I am very satisfied with the results. So there you go. So this little 1 ounce of that is all that's really recommended for the smallest dose that they have, which is 125 gallons. I figure I'm probably in that neighborhood. And you just apply it directly to your filtration media, which in my case is the bed. But I like to spread it out a little bit. So this is going to be tricky because it's a two-hand thing. This is a child's medicine syringe. As you can see, it's got no needle on it. We picked it up from the Big W. Pretty sure they gave it to us for free, or pretty darn cheap. But basically, I use this for all kinds of things. But in this case, I'll pull up a little bit of my liquid and then squirt it into assorted areas of the bed just to spread out the starter colony and make sure that I get good filtration going all the way through there. Now, because I didn't think ahead and bring my tripod, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you that. But I'm going to try and put the camera on a plant and we'll see how that works. Alright, you may get a clip, you may not. We'll see. And basically I'll just put that, squirt it right in. I don't know how well that showed up. Plug it in there over here. And that's pretty much all there is to that. It's amazing how far one of these little medicine syringes can stretch 1 fluid ounce of that stuff. Seriously, the small bottle is all you need. Now I tend to reapply that several times over the course of the spring, and anytime I do a major top up with the water, which happens once in a while, I wait about 24 hours for the chlorine to dissipate out of that, and then I just assume my bacterial colony has been ravaged and apply another ounce. Seriously, it's like $8-9 for that bottle. So worth it. Alright, now the other thing I wanted to touch on briefly is I have a planned power outage coming up, and it comes up a lot. What do you do when the power goes out in your aquaponics? Well, you deal with it. Now in this particular case, we received a notice in the mail that the power would be going out from midnight tonight until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Luckily for me, my fish aren't terribly active during those hours, and my plants will be okay with not having quite as much water as they're used to. But they'll be, you know, a little upset with me in the morning, as will the fish, I'm sure. So, the fish will get a strawberry each. So, you know, that's going to slow down my rhubarb pie a little bit. But what do I do about the plants? What do I do about the pumps? How do I make sure everything's okay? Well, that's part of why this whole thing is based on a power bar instead of just a multi-plug or an extension cord with multiple outlets. If I turn this off knowingly, then I'm here when it happens, and I can check for any backflood type issues. If I turn it back on, I'm here when it happens, and I can check for any overflow type issues. So basically, before I go to bed tonight, I'll just be flipping the switch on that to turn it off and taking a quick look with the flashlight to make sure everything's cool. And as soon as I get up in the morning, assuming the power is back on already, I'll come out and fire it back up. Everything should be just fine. Now, if it was going to be longer than that, there are other measures that I could take. We've got solar panels and batteries and things like that. These little pumps don't use a whole lot of power, but luckily for me, it's a nighttime power outage, so I don't have to set that up. However, I understand that they're upgrading the local grid, so I'm probably going to have to deal with some daytime power outages this summer, and that will not be good for the plants. So, if that does happen, I'll show you what to do then. As far as it goes, that's it for this particular video. It's already been a whole lot longer than I intended. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Don't forget, tune up your aquaponics if you live in the cold. Bye.